Hello, my dears, and welcome back to the Weekly Intention series. For those of you who are new here, welcome. These are short little episodes that I actually like to call transmissions because they're not really planned. They're about what's on my heart in real time, at least for when I record them. And they're meant to bring a gentle focus into our days, our weeks, into the kitchen through the power of intention. I know intention is a word that's used a lot, but when we get out of the fad of the word, like what does that mean? What is an intention? It is a guidepost. It is a direction of how we want to feel in any particular moment. And it is a very, very powerful practice. Today's intention, I think every week they take me by surprise. This one came to me in the bath of all places last night. It had been a really busy day, a really full day. I had a lot of catch up. I had several meetings. I had a lot of kid family stuff. And when I slipped into the warm water of the bath and let out a deep exhale, I felt so free. And yet I was so contained within the bath. And the words that came to me, which I knew I was meant to share with you, was there is so much freedom in structure. There's so much freedom in structure. It sounds like an oxymoron. Like, isn't freedom just nothingness? It's not really. My spiritual teacher often reminds me that boundaries create freedom. If we didn't have boundaries, we would just be leaking out all of our essence out into everything else. And on the flip side, we would be taking in everyone else's stuff. And that's not free. That creates a lot of clean, a lot of attachment. Boundaries help us detach and find freedom. So what happens when we bring that into the kitchen? Well, it actually reminds me of my podcast episode last week with Maggie Hoffman, because we talk about how structure can help us free up our lives. A bit of structure, and this is going to look so different for everybody, but for me, as I described in that episode, I make a pretty rough weekly meal plan on the back of my grocery list. I jot out the days of the week. I do one major grocery shop a week because of where I live. I'm not close to grocery stores. I don't really enjoy going to the grocery store per se. So I do one big shop. And then on the weekends, we've got a great farmer's market and local markets that I'll go to. And the weekends are much more flexible. That I make up my plan on the back of my grocery list. And this gives me so much more freedom because that way, when it's time to make dinner, 5:30, 6, depending on the night, I know exactly what I'm doing and I can just jump into the cooking process without the struggle of having to figure out what to make, because that is a massive struggle, right? So I think we first need to understand what freedom feels like. For me, freedom feels like spaciousness, expansion, quiet. Freedom feels like presence, being fully embodied without the conditioning and the cluttering of all of the mental chatter, all of the distraction. Freedom is when we are fully who we are. And structure can give us the container to get there. Like my husband makes the same breakfast every single morning. He loves it. He sighs with contentment every time he makes some variation of this smoothie. And even in the depths of winter, I could never do this. This is so not me. The man loves it. And I know part of the reason he loves it is because it provides him with freedom. He is the breakfast maker for my kids. And it's interesting that for him, he makes the same thing because it provides him with this satisfaction, yes, 100%, but also freedom. I also think about recipes, how recipes are these structures. But can recipes also help us feel free? In a way, I think they can. I think that it kind of depends on where you're at in your cooking practice and what you want from a recipe. Because sometimes I make a recipe if I've never made it before and I want to follow it to a T because I want to learn something or I want to understand the author's voice. But even that being said, I still allow my intuition to override anything that just doesn't feel right. But then there are recipes, and I hope that my recipes do this for you. I want my recipes to feel accommodating. I want them to feel a little loose, even though I try to be exact for those of you who want that, because that feels beautiful and safe. And I never include salt and pepper measurements unless it's a baked good, because I want you to feel into what is right for you. When we know what we want and what is good for us and what our desires are, there's freedom in that. I decided just before I hopped onto this to take this intention of I will find freedom in structure into developing a recipe and testing a recipe. And for those of you who do not know what it's like to test a recipe, it's the opposite of freedom. It's not like me just being all creative in the kitchen, which I love to do. No, this is the opposite. This is you are measuring, you're weighing, you're timing, you're making notes. And so I was like, okay, let's see what happens when I set the intention to find freedom within the structure of having to test a recipe. And it was so interesting because I did find more freedom, but not within the recipe testing itself. It was this freedom in my body. I found myself pausing to take more breaths. I found myself moving in my body and swaying and dancing and just going a little bit slower. And that felt more free. After this recording, I have to go to the dentist. I have to take my daughter to soccer practice. I'm going to make dinner tonight. And I wonder what will happen if I bring the intention of I will find freedom within structure into those activities too. Of course, there is no right answer or there is no answer. It's going to look differently for each of us. But I do think with that intention, there is the opportunity to find more expansion, spaciousness, and connection within our lives, in the kitchen and outside of the kitchen. Because the thing is, each and every one of us, we are free. We are already free. But damn, do I forget that all the time. It certainly does not feel that way all of the time. We have a lot of conditioning layered upon us. We have obligations, real obligations, and we are free. And if we can cultivate these practices to remember that we are free, then we become, I believe, lighter, brighter, more expansive versions of ourselves. And it just feels really good too. So this week, my invitation for you is to set that intention for yourself. I will find freedom within structure. I'm so curious to see what will happen. What does that feel like to you? And of course, you can start this in the kitchen. Next time you go to make a meal, I will find freedom within structure. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hop over to Substack, Mind, Body, Spirit, Food. You can become a subscriber. Of course, that's an easy way to support this show. You can also share it with those friends and family members who you think might resonate with it. I will find freedom in structure. What's so funny is I feel so free right now talking with you. And this, I knew I had to record this today because I have to get it to my audio engineer. And here I am within this structure, within this obligation, one might say. And I'm looking outside my window at the colorful leaves, talking to you with an open heart. And I feel so free. I will leave you with that, my loves. You can get a lot more in the newsletter and in my forthcoming book, Mind, Body, Spirit, Food, which is coming out in January. but you can pre-order it now. Also, I will be teaching a weekend retreat at Kripalu. It's a retreat center in the Berkshires at the end of February. And it's going to be such a beautiful time to come together in person to explore more of this, but also to cook together and to transform cooking and eating into something, a tool for self-connection and community. All right, my loves, that's it for now. Until next time, remember to nourish yourself with intention and love.